97 out of 100 people find jobs, and we're very proud of that.
Is it a free to enter at Forge Academy, or do the participants receive like scholarships?
And I must say, as like I said, as a leader in training in technology, we actually adopted the cloud very, very quickly. We had our learners working remotely through e-learning platforms.
Welcome to ITWeb TV. Today in studio, we are joined by the COO of Forge Academy, Tariq Shurmah. He's here to chat to us about, the academy, what have been some of the outcomes in terms of upskilling local youth, plans for the future, and they've recently opened, I know they have a new location in North
Riding.
Riding.
Yeah, here we go.
So Tariq is here to just chat to us more about the Forge Academy. Tariq, welcome.
Thank you so much, Simnikiwe. It's a pleasure to be here and to speak about our wonderful organization, Forge Academy. Yeah.
Can you say wonderful academy? Can you tell us more about, the Forge Academy? What is it? And,
Okay, so Forge Academy is a prestigious educational institution. We are the forerunners in education. We with an emphasis on technology and innovation. We pride ourselves on upskilling youth that are both unemployed and underemployed. However, our training is open to the majority of South Africans because we focus our training on the fourth industrial revolution and the enablers of the fourth industrial revolution, which includes 5G, right, cloud computing, next generation computing, robotics, 3D printing, drone technology, and digital marketing. We focus ourselves on priding ourselves on international certifications that are combined with local qualifications. So the recipients, the learners that come through our organization, not only get a local qualification, but also international certifications, because we know we're living in a world where technology runs the global market, and we are striving to get South Africa to reduce that digital divide that we not only see within the South African market, but the African market as a whole. Yeah.
Tariq, you mentioned quite a few programs that you guys that you guys are quite exciting, because we hear a lot about robotics, coding, and software development, how that's like the future of youth, and because there's a limited amount of people with those skills locally.
Yeah.
So how does then one get involved or get to be part of the Forge Academy?
Okay, so there's numerous ways. We have lots of programs that are obviously project based, but also open to the public as well. So when they're project based, we run lots of adverts, lots of campaigns, even with ITWeb, looking for candidates that are going to be registered on our program. However, we have our programs that are open to the public as well. So they can actually go onto our website, which is www.forgeacademy.co.za. Look at the programs, and it's numerous, like I mentioned, and like you alluded to as well, that we run from digital marketing to 5G to cloud. I must say, I'm very, very proud to say that we are pioneering the adoption of 5G and cloud computing as one training program, which is becoming an industry leader in the education space for that. So I would say go onto our website, look at the adverts, look at our podcasts and our vodcasts that are out there for programs that are going to be opened. We're in the social media quite often. Our website has a great explanation of the programs that we've got, and an inquiry button. Call us, email us, and let us know what you want to know about and how we can actually help you. I mean, our programs are custom made and customized to meet a specific need. Like you said, the skill shortage is quite high, and we want to ensure that we reduce that scarce and critical skills that are affecting the adoption of the fourth industrial revolution in our markets today.
And we can't, run away from the fact that, some of these programs are quite, in terms of, if you were looking at it, let's say from a a varsity or higher learning institution to enter into, it would be an expensive process. So what is it a free to enter for at Forge Academy, or
Yeah.
do the participants receive like scholarships, for example?
So recently we ran a bursary program, and I know with our partnerships that we have with our various clients, a lot of our clients sponsor, right? And obviously we're looking for other clients as well and other potential sponsorships to our programs. But we try to make it for our learners free, so that because the clients from a BE, social development, social investment point of view would like to invest in these types of programs to actually reduce the skill shortages. So they will come to Forge Academy, and we're hoping a lot more come because we are leading the race in fourth industrial revolution training and technology training. And we open it to our learners, which are free, which our learners get it in the form of a scholarship where they get a stipend, they get actually training, which is like I said, local and internationally certified, and they get a stipend which is above the minimum stipend that most organizations offer. In fact, 300% in some cases, and they get a stipend to actually study and get these qualifications. But what makes it even better is through this program, whether it's a 3 month, 6 month, 12-month program, because we do run skills programs, we do run learnerships, we do run full qualifications, and there are various benefits to each one of them. From a BE perspective, companies need to do learnerships, and part of the priority element on the BE scorecard is skills development, which learnerships play a huge role into. Our programs are not just certifications, not just qualifications, not just theoretical. Our programs are very practical based, and they're just not working on random practical projects. They are working on industry related projects. So if they're studying in 5G and cloud, so we actually build a project around these learners to say, okay, fine, sort of like a hackathon. How would you use 5G and cloud to actually move the world towards a better place and build a theory, a practical example that we can help them take to market and help them actually make it a realization as well. So yeah, depending on whether it's a 3 month, 6 month, or 12-month program, normally our programs are free to our learners, but it does cost money. And we're hoping to get a lot more corporate sponsorship, government sponsorship. I mean, with our partnership with Nokia South Africa, and Liquid Intelligent Telecoms in South Africa, and various other organizations. And then together with our MOUs with the CETA, like MICT CETA, where special projects are driven towards 5G and cloud adoption. And that's where our funding comes through. And that's how we actually take this to the unemployed, underemployed individuals, and yeah, and make it free for our South Africans.
And then suppose for those that where it's, let's say, a program isn't free, how much would it, like, what would we looking at?
Well, for full qualification, let's just say it's a 12-month program, right, which is both local and internationally certified. We're looking at about anything between 28 and 36,000 rand, because it's in an international certification at the end of the day. And those, you obviously know, it's quite expensive. Yeah.
Okay. And Forge Academy was opened, was it the initial one at, I know, Four Ways Gantry in
Yes. Yeah.
2020?
Yeah.
So is that okay? Is that one still open, or, and then I know that there's the North Riding. So
Yeah.
is it
So we still have our offices at the
okay?
gantry,
Yeah.
definitely. However, the reason why we moved to North Riding is firstly for bigger premises,
Okay.
adoption of more learners. Thanks to Nokia South Africa and MICT, we will be able to take on more learners, and with the likes of the Gauteng City Regional Academy, which is known as the GCRA, we were able to up our stipends that we offered our learners as well. So we had to move to a bigger premises. Firstly, we believe that both our facilities, whether Gantry or in North Riding, is world class facilities that showcase our technology that we offer. But yeah, it was mainly to get in more learners that are going to be sitting in our building, a lot more space to work with, a lot more technology to actually display and look at how we can move South Africa to a better technologically inclined environment.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then just from, having opened in during the height of the pandemic, which was around November 2020, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
how were you guys able to overcome some of the challenges of not having learners come in and, as much as you probably as they do now? And yeah, just if you can just talk us through that.
So let's put it this way. I believe that we as Forge Academy, we rise above all adversity. Hey, and yes, COVID came with its own set of limitations and adversities. However, we're working in a technological environment, which we need to embrace. I mean, the one thing that COVID did teach us is how to work remotely, how to adopt the cloud. I mean, the cloud was there, right? However, it was seen as, do I get into the cloud? What's my security features around it? But COVID pushed us into that. And I must say, as like I said, as a leader in training in technology, we actually adopted the cloud very, very quickly. We had our learners working remotely through e-learning platforms, submissions and adoption of various cloud technologies to actually submit their work. So yeah, that's how we rose above it. Technology like using your cell phone, WhatsApp communication, WhatsApp groups, WhatsApp calls, whether it's Teams, Zoom, Amazon Chimes, or various other, shall I say, video platforms. We were able to actually get our learners through these programs and learning at the same time. Yeah.
And how has that shift been like from, back in 2020 where things were done mostly remotely to now in person? There's a lot more in person
So
engagement.
So, you know what? Yeah, personal learning, being in the classroom is a lot more better. We know being in university and being in the classroom, you study a lot more. However, what we try to do is we try to combine the both. We have a very much hybrid solution. I mean, at North Riding, the learners come in most of the time. However, they have an opportunity to work from home as well. Because that we believe that's the future of the working world, the working environment. So we try to train them. We try to instill that same type of culture. When you do get placed, right? When you do have the opportunity to work for home, what would be the policies that and the processes that you need to follow? So we try to instill that, and that shift by getting people in. Again, we didn't see any hindrances to it. We adapted. Getting people back into the organization was what part and parcel of what we did, and that's why we had to move to a new building,
Okay.
to actually enjoy our learners being with us, our staff being with us. But again, like I said, technology plays a critical role. I mean, we've got programs that we're running throughout South Africa. Our facilitators sit at our North Riding building and facilitate to the likes of Sultana, Eastern Cape, Western Cape, Marikana, and in fact, we're launching a program in Vryburg and Kanana very, very soon. So it's going. We adopt the cloud way of remote learning, remote working. So yeah.
And Tariq, can you just take us through in terms of the structure of the academy and how and the organizations that were involved in setting it up? I know you might have mentioned the partnerships that you have, but if you can just share with us how the organizational structure looks like.
Okay, lovely. So Forge Academy was co-founded by Craig Anthony Clutty and Arthur Wade Anderson. I'm the pretty one that joined recently. No, I'm joking. But again, they co-founded it with thanks to our partnership with and our sponsorship from Nokia South Africa, and we really thank them because they've been a long-serving. Shall I say, partner of Forge Academy, and Pat Vehan. And we still call her the mother of Forge because together with Craig and Arthur, built up the academy to where it is right now. Really started off with the gantry being about 300 square meters, now moving to 1,200 square meters approximately. So it shows the growth. I mean, a lot of they started with a small number of people running the organization, rolling out programs, but now we have a staff complement of that went from about 8 to 9 people to now 35 people. And yeah, it's grown really, really well. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, Pat, for what we have today and what we can do for South Africa today.
And
Yeah.
Arthur and Craig are still very
Yeah,
much involved.
they're still co-founders. They're there. Arthur, Craig hitting the ground together. Well, the Craig, Arthur, Tariq combination. Acronym being CAT. We actually hit the ground running. We go and we look at opportunities where we can empower our youth. Yeah.
And I know that what was said when it was initially opened was around how it's modeled, the Forge Academy that is modeled on the Finnish pedagogy of education.
Yeah.
Just so, what was the reasoning behind that?
Okay. So I gotta say, the Finnish education system is probably one of the best in the world. I mean, if not the best, probably in the top 5, top 10. And we, because of Nokia South Africa being a Finnish company, and we thank Nokia again, we aligned ourselves to the pedagogy, the Finnish pedagogy. Why? Because if you look at the education system, it's a much more holistic type of learning experience where it involves a lot of practical work, critical thinking. It's not just theory based. Yes, theory forms a critical role, but it's more moving forward on that practical mentality of what to apply in the workplace, and that's the learning that the Finnish pedagogy actually drives, and it's based on equity, based on trust, based on productivity and progression. And that's why, and that's what motivated us, because we believe that we are an organization that that uplifts, upskills individuals for the working environment to have a sustainable and a long career path ahead of them. Yeah, and that's why that we have aligned it to the Finnish pedagogy.
So let's say 2020 November, right, when it was officially opened?
2019, 2020, yeah.
And then looking at we at maybe 3-year mark.
Yeah.
So what's been the absorption like in terms of the learners that have passed through the Forge Academy in terms of going into the workplace?
Okay. And we're very proud of that. So I got to speak about, firstly, we've got an 88% success rate when it comes to our international certifications. Right, that's both Amazon Web Services and the 5G training, the digital marketing, which is internationally recognized as well, and because of the methodology that we've adopted, which included the Finnish pedagogy for education, our placement rate at the moment is sitting at 97%. So that means 97 out of 100 people find jobs. And we're very proud of that. It's because of the training methodologies that we use. Yeah.
That's 97%. Like, if you were looking at it that way, yeah, it's quite a high number.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We pride ourselves on that. Eh?
We spoke about it briefly at the start of our conversation around the gaps in the local ICT skills space.
Yeah.
So what have you guys noticed is lacking? Where do you find that the biggest gaps are in the work that you do?
It's amazing that you're asking this question, because I launched a cloud awareness program at schools on Saturday, and I must say the biggest divide that we have right now is digitally in our rural areas. The adoption of a digital environment in various places in South Africa. I mean, That's the big, from a cloud perspective, and it goes with technology, the 5G side as well. That's where we see the biggest gap is. And what we've done is through our activations and our various roadshows, we try to take this technology so that people are aware of that there is technology and digital experiences out there. If you look at the world today, there's probably between 250,000 to 300,000 junior cloud engineering jobs. Why? Is because of the lack of skills, the lack of adoption of cloud. If I look at our rural areas, I also went to a rural school. I mean, our children, and I know I was brainwashed to think that becoming a doctor, a lawyer, to becoming a teacher, no disrespect to those careers, but those were the only careers that we were brainwashed to become. However, by taking our robotics to the school, our drones to the school, taking our cloud technology to the schools, grade 10 and 11 and 12, we actually can show people that a career is more than just those limited. Because if you don't become a doctor, a lawyer, or a teacher, what do you become? A general worker in South Africa? No, right? That's not the mentality we should be adopting. We're saying, let's take the technology to the schools, let's take technology to the rural areas and show them that there's a bigger, better career, or maybe it's wrong words, not better, but a bigger career, right? Opportunities out there for you, not just limitations. I mean, you can be a cloud engineer working in South Africa, servicing a client in America. I mean, we've done it, right? We've got junior cloud engineers servicing clients in Australia. We've got junior cloud engineers servicing clients in America. I mean, and these are South Africans, right? They might work different time zones, but they're still finding opportunities. So that's where we find the biggest gap. The other gap is skills scarcity gap, or the gap in the ICT environment, is the lack of females. The lack of females coming into the ICT environment. That's why we pride ourselves in running women in tech programs, striving for having more women in our projects, in our learnership programs, in our skills programs. We try to actually have a 70-30 split, 70% women, 30% male. But this is obviously broken down into African male, African woman, colored woman, and Indian woman, trying to bring more women into the tech field. Yeah, so those are the gaps that we've noticed. Obviously, there's the digital divide as a whole.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you kind of answered my second question,
Which
my
was?
follow-up, which was about the demographics in terms of, the woman, male,
Yeah.
female, male split in terms of the learners that come through
Yeah.
the academy.
Yeah, so again, like I said, we try to keep it a 70-30 split,
Yeah.
because we want to encourage more women to come, black women to come into the ICT field, because the ICT field is not just one field. IT affects every industry, from financial services to banking to manufacturing to warehousing, right? So we want to say bring more women into these environments so they have the opportunity to work in various industries, because IT, like accounting, what?
Yes.
Or banking, affects every industry.
Yeah.
IT does affect every industry as well.
Yeah. And you did mention, around some of the partnerships that you have, like, for example, with MICT CETA. So I just want to hear from you what's been the motivation, to try and boost your partnerships with these various, whether it's a private company or like an MICT CETA skills agency. Can you just share with us?
Well, from an MICT CETA perspective, definitely the partnership or the MOU we have with them actually helps us take the fourth industrial revolution training on technology to various areas in South Africa, because of their stakeholders that they have. Also, with that MOU, it helps us to do special projects, which is specific to a certain industry, like for example 5G. We rolled out a program with 5G and cloud as a special project in Gauteng that started October last year to actually create a cooperative where they can actually take to become future economic participants in our country. So that type of partnerships are very, very important. And then the partnerships with obviously Nokia South Africa, Liquid Intelligent Telecoms, the the Mine Workers Development Agency, like I said, the Gauteng City Regional Academy, GCRA. This is partnerships that actually bringing together investors so that we can actually offer these opportunities where it becomes a no cost for our learners. And that's the most important part of it, is we want to create these opportunities at no cost to fellow South Africans and the youth that are unemployed and underemployed, so that we can actually help them find gainful, meaningful employment going forward. So yeah, that's the motivation around it. And more than that is relationships, right? Bouncing off of ideas, strategically aligning interventions to actually limit this digital divide that we have in our country. Yeah.
And any other entities that you guys are like trying to get on board to partner
Well,
with?
the whole of South Africa, eh? But again, we like working with the tech companies,
Yeah.
definitely without a doubt. But like I said, tech affects every industry, but it's telecommunications to marketing, to banking. However, what we saying as an organization, right? If you want to make a difference, right, in creating a digital free environment, a digital adoptive environment in South Africa, partner with us as Forge Academy, because we can actually help you as an organization, and to actually firstly create a pool of candidates that you can possibly look at employing in the near future, but also reducing the unemployment rate in this country. Because once we train individuals, we not only market them for South African companies, but we can market them globally, because the training that we give them, the upskilling that we allow them to do with us, actually creates a an individual that is ready for the job market globally. So we say, by helping us as fellow proudly South African company, right, we actually can create a economic future for our individuals that can service the world. Yeah, does
Well,
that answer that?
yes. I just want to go back to a point that you made earlier. Um, about the future of maybe you can share with us. I think you mentioned a program that you'll be rolling out soon. I'm not really
Yeah.
sure where, but if you can just give us some highlights in terms of what are some of the future plans, or like the immediate future plans for Forge.
So immediate future plans, we've got a program, and I want to speak boldly about it. And this is part of our awareness programs, taking back to rural communities. We've got a program that's going to start with our sister company Got Game, or AfriActive trading as Got Game in Kanana, right, and also in Vryburg. We've got programs that we're starting in Saldanha in the near future, in the Western Cape. We work very closely with Amazon Web Services from a cloud perspective to take their trainings not only here in South Africa but across Africa. So there's a lot of cloud programs, 5G programs, a combination of 5G cloud programs, digital marketing programs that are coming not only in South Africa but across Africa. But yeah, the rollout of those programs are critical in the South African environment. Also, we've got future plans in with the Mine Workers Development Agency in Marikana, as part of the Agri Hub, rolling out a lot of artisan type of training like plumbing, bricklaying, and so forth. So yeah, we're hoping these are the future programs that we will roll out in the near future. Long term, dominating South Africa from a fourth industrial revolution upskilling perspective, hey, and obviously taking our technology and lots of placements, right, across Africa, for the youth that have been trained and across the world. Working very closely with AWS and Nokia Bell Labs, 5G training. Yeah, so that's our future plans. Yeah.
And I know that when it was initially launched, it was dubbed the 4 South Africa's 4IR Academy. So I'm guessing from what you've just told us that that's how you guys are, I know, moving forward still.
Still moving forward,
Still
and
moving.
that's still our 4IR. Because remember, I mean, the fourth industrial revolution has been publicized by the presidency of South Africa. Plans to actually limit the digital divide in South Africa. So yes, I do believe that we are the forerunners for the fourth industrial revolution, upskilling and technology in South Africa. Yes.
Thank you so much. That was Tariq. He is the COO of the Forge Academy, and he was just telling us more about what to expect from the Forge Academy. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for the next episode on ITWeb TV. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.